afternoon, I guess it is. Sexual assault in the military continues to be a serious problem. It impacts thousands of service women and men each year. While I'm pleased with the recent improvements made by the Department of Defense, there remains much more to be done. It is vital that we do all we can to protect the men and women of the military who protect us. I'm very pleased that both the House and the Senate passed language improving the military's response to sexual assault in their respective versions of the National Defense Authorization Act. Earlier this week, I sent a letter along with Representative Turner and 45 colleagues to the House and Senate Armed Services Committees, asking them to strongly consider the House-passed provisions dealing with military sexual assault. The language contained in the House version makes necessary improvements to protect our service women and men. Specifically, the House-passed language strengthens the rights of sexual assault victims by clarifying victim access to legal counsel and record maintenance and confidentiality, which are critically important. It also ensures expedited unit or station transfer when a service member has been victimized. Being a victim of rape, which one young soldier told me about at a hearing, while serving in the military, and every morning she had to salute her rapist. That's why the members of our armed forces have experienced and will continue to experience if we don't do something to change that situation. The House-passed language also stresses the need for the NDAA to include comprehensive training and education programs for sexual assault prevention within the Department of Defense. The Senate version does not include this protection, which is part of H.R. 1709, the Force Protection and Readiness Act, which I introduced earlier this year. I'm pleased this motion to instruct conferees on the NDAA recognizes the importance of this issue, and I ask the conferees to seriously consider including the strongest possible language to prevent and appropriately respond to incidents of sexual assault in the military, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentlelady yields back. The gentleman from California. Gentleman from California.
Continue to reserve.
Continues to reserve. The gentleman from Washington.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. At this point, I yield the balance of my time to Ms. Tsongas of Massachusetts. She will control the time from this point forward. So I yield the balance of our time to Ms. Tsongas, and then she can yield as much to herself as she wants.
Without objection. And the gentlelady from Massachusetts will control the balance of the time.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I yield myself such time as I may consume.
And the gentlelady is recognized.
While 1 in 6 women will experience sexual assault in her lifetime, as many as 1 in 3 women leaving military service report that they have experienced some form of military sexual trauma. By the Pentagon's own estimate, as few as 13.5% sexual assaults are reported. Additionally, while 40% of sexual assault allegations in the civilian world are prosecuted, this number is a staggeringly low 8% in the military. The military has been slow to take the appropriate actions necessary to protect victims of sexual assault. For example, rape victims still do not yet have the right to a unit or duty location transfer following an assault. This means victims of sexual assault are often forced to live and work alongside their perpetrator, facing repeated stress and trauma due to the constant contact they may have with an assailant that is part of their unit. As unbelievable as it sounds, this is exactly what happened to Marine Lance Corporal Maria Lauterbach, who accused her assailant of rape and then spent the next 8 months exposed to the accused rapist, who later murdered her and buried her with the body of her unborn son in his backyard. Although these events happened in 2007, the Department of Defense has not adopted provisions that would allow victims to escape constant contact with their assailant. We ask men and women who serve in the military to put their lives on the line for our country, and they shouldn't fear harm from their fellow service members. We simply must do more to protect them. In May, this House passed H.R. 1540, which included strong bipartisan provisions that would allow victims of sexual assault the right to transfer units, the right to counsel, the right to